This week on West of Nowhere, we have an update about the OnlyFans teacher who lost her job, uh, who also lost her job again. Also, where in the world is Kate Middleton? Turns out she may have cancer, or maybe the royal family is trying to get rid of another princess. Who knows? We also discuss documentaries like Quiet on the Set and An American Nightmare, as well as a sailor who lost their life after falling off of the USS Mason. We share some Navy stories and discuss how an amateur photographer trying to help their friend out, who is in a bind, ends up on another Am I the Asshole? Check it out.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. I'm on it.
Hey, freak show! You're going nowhere!
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Welcome back, kids and coaches, to another episode of West of Nowhere. I am Levi.
And I'm Shane.
Yeah, back at it. Here to bring you the weirdest and hopefully unpredictable news stories that you're gonna. Maybe you've heard of them, maybe not. But that's what we're here for. I find some fun stuff. Maybe Shane does something for once. It's a game.
You're so fucking funny.
And if you can't tell, yes, I did get a new haircut, and that's why I'm so cocky right now. I feel like I'm better than everybody. Really, is what it is. But got a new haircut, new shirt, got new bedding on my bed. Basically an adult, so
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. What about some new boots, dude? You new boot goofing?
No, I do need some new boots though. That is probably next on the list. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I'm feeling hot, looking good. Just wake up every day, piss excellence. It's the bottom line. But
nice.
Yeah, I just strive for greatness, and I feel like that's what's best for our listeners.
Yeah.
Who are dutiful and give us all of their hard-earned money sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these people I'm about to read off, they piss excellence as well.
Yeah. We know because we've tasted it.
What the We'd like to thank Adam Pacino, Mark Stadler, Kylie Gangwish, Colby Jordan, Chantel, Kevin Garahan, Andres Valles the God, Lord Reverend Professor Rusty J. Lugnuts, Colton Zamersla, and I really wish I had my soundboard. Yeah, I know. Our newest subscriber, Teresa Trimmer, which I'm pretty sure is Pantera Girl, so about
Pantera
time.
Girl, your alter ego has been lifted. We know who you are, so
Yeah.
you can no longer fight crime with Batman. Sorry. Although, now I'm imagining a comic in which there is a hero named Pantera Girl. That kind of kicks ass, actually. Just every time, like the theme song is just "Walk" by just every time she comes in a room, just fucking what is that? That'd be fun. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get to speed reading because if you watch this on YouTube, you might notice we got a ton of comments last week, and we love it. We love the engagement, but also I need to read faster. So I wish I could crack my knuckles, but for my eyes, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what I would do. I'd be like, my eyes are just. I feel like that'd be a SpongeBob throwaway gag. Anyway,
Yeah.
without further ado, Pantera Girl starting off hot. She says, "Yeah, my brother lives in Idaho. He's a professor at Lewis Clark Star College." Sounds
That's not a
made
real
up.
college. Yeah.
Yeah. Then she added in reference to saying that nobody lives there. Okay, so your brother, one person. All right, I'm just and he made up a fictional college. So T-Ferg coming in next says, "Woo! Honor greatly received about he inspired the episode title last week. So
He did, yeah.
Go check that out if you haven't yet. And he says as well, living as someone in Utah who grew up with a bad porn issue, can't fucking read, sometimes stuck watching or playing something for hours at a time because my brain viewed things that were not appropriate for my brain at the time I started watching it. I don't disagree that there should be something to prevent the chance of a child seeing it. I don't think the way it's being handled by the states is the best. I actually agree with Pornhub that it is a problem to leave the verification up to them. The reason I do is that it will make them a big hack target for bad actors who want to get as much of people's information as possible. That's true. I never even considered that.
Wow.
I don't have a solution of my own other than third-party verification, possibly, that has better capacity to protect said info. Even that is tenuous at best, which these are all valid points, yeah. Because you do see those places that house all of that, like, data getting hacked all the time. Like, TurboTax, always getting hacked left and right, dude. Like, so, anyway. He said, my comment last episode about Atlantean is in regards to written communication plot hole of the original Little Mermaid. Oh, yeah. I think Atlantean must be different writing than whatever Prince Eric spoke and wrote. Yeah. And it's not like they're going to go in there and go subtitle a kid's movie, you know? They're not going to make the mermaid speak some made-up language and be like, this is why she can't talk to him and she can't write it because she speaks not English. And Prince Eric, maybe he speaks Dutch. Maybe she does speak English and he speaks Dutch, and now nobody, nobody can understand anybody. T. Ferg, continuing, long string of comments between all of his, says, growing up LDS, I actually had not heard of soaking until I was a church missionary. I think it's stupid, personally, and if you're going to have sex, just do it. Don't do some behind the back, off the backboard nonsense to get to the same thing. God in the LDS theology isn't a T-Rex with some blind spot that can't see things if they're not moving. I love that metaphor. I can't tell you how much I have literally groaned at the thought of this stupidity. Also, I bet too many have ended up in STDs or unexpected pregnancies for the poor girl who gets shamed way more than the guy and has to make an impossible choice of dropping out to raise the kid or giving the kid up for adoption. I list these because of how frowned upon abortion access is in the LDS Church. The purity culture that is in the church community has harmed far too many people, myself and wife included. Took us years to work through the trauma we've had from it. We're still active, but it's complicated. We're not all in, but we're not out either. We're trying to see what parts we still agree with, and we both believe in the core beliefs. It's just culture and some of the more extreme beliefs we struggle with, which is fair. He says, I love T Mu Shane version of Shane. He spelled it out T like TEA-MU. So he's making a hard stance on how to pronounce it. And then says, I don't think there's any person in the Am I the Asshole segment who is not possibly an asshole for the naming convention. Yeah, that full of assholes in that one. And I'm glad you brought that up because real quick, another listener approached me outside of the comment section and told me that is common in some cultures to name the next son or the next child after the child that had died before. And that's was also popular back in the homesteading days when kids died every other pregnancy. It didn't last, so that was like a constant thing. So could be a cultural thing. Obviously, with that, then they changed the name, so we have no idea what the actual name was. But
are there rules for that? Like if I have another kid and I just want to name him fucking Jim Bob Root, I don't know, whatever, Jim Bob the fucking, if I just he's the only one, I want to call him Jim Bob the Fifth. Can I just name him Jim Bob the Fifth? There doesn't need to be 4 other Jim Bobs?
I don't know. I feel like you probably could because of, we've seen on the internet some very interesting names out there.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I know there's certain circumstances, you name your kid Hitler and they take him away. So I miss little Adolf to this day. No, I'm just kidding. It was in a documentary I watched. I think it's called like Meet the Hitlers or something, and it's a bunch of people around the planet that have the name either Adolf or Hitler or both.
Yeah.
And this one like real white trashy couple named their kid Hitler to prove a point, man. But the guy's also got swastika tattoos, so it's like, no, you didn't. You're a fucking Nazi, actually. So
Yeah.
I digress. Back to the comments.
Yeah.
Pantera Girl says, "Alrighty, guys, I finally bit the bullet. Shane, add my name to the thingy. Although I don't think the payment starts till the 1st. Well, guess what? If you made it this far, you already know. We put your name in the thingy. So, congrats. Welcome. We're happy to have you." Back to T-Ferg. He says, "Our Knuckle Dragon deserves all the flowers." Look at you, Shane. You're getting...
Dude, I think low-key T-Ferg is like my biggest fan.
I think so. I think Pantera Girl's my biggest fan, and T-Ferg's yours, I think.
See, look at that, dude.
Yeah, so diversifying, you know. He also says that Suikoden 2 is a JRPG. Is that Japanese RPG?
Guessing so.
Is that what the J star? Is that? Man, never mind.
The J is silent.
Yeah, he says, "My personal favorite. It's a story about a country going through war. Highly recommend for those who haven't played it. Made me think through life differently after playing it because the views the 108 characters brought to it. So interesting. I'll add it to my list of 150,000 games that I want to play and haven't. So I have so many. It's even worse is I'll buy them on Steam and then they'll just sit there gathering digital dust." And T-Ferg has another one. "The alcohol laws in Utah and Idaho have been something people complain about for years. Utah is just barely increasing the amount of bar licenses to be able to support the people who want to drink better. I don't know all the liquor laws, but I do remember it was something we had to be careful about as cashiers, as I could have wound up getting a massive fine if I sold to someone underage, along with possible jail time," which is fair. And like I think it was when I moved to Nevada or somewhere, or maybe it was when I was in California. They're like the grocery aisle or the liquor aisle at Walmart would like have a gate on it. It's like,
yeah.
All right, weird. And then he says, "I don't know if there's evidence to support more alcohol will drive someone to suicide after a certain hour. Sounds like a poor excuse to be controlling to me." And then Pantera Girl says, "Shane basically already said that. I mean, if somebody's going to decide that they're to do that, they're not just going to go change their mind because it's 10 p.m. instead of 9 p.m., especially if they're a regular. I'm pretty sure they know to get their beer before 10, which is also very fair and valid." T-Ferg doesn't think that Tyson would ever throw a fight. He's got too much of the dog in him to let that happen. And I agree. Yeah, I think that's a very valid point. And more flowers for Shane. He says, good on you, Shane, for changing from your past. Many people can change and stay with the person they moved on to, but the ones that are serial cheaters give everyone associated with that a bad name. It's something she worries would happen if she were to be a cheater or be with a cheater. Doesn't help that she found out that she was the other woman in the relationship after he said he was no longer with the lady he was married to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then Pantera Girl says, "Yeah, I think the comment is made a lot because it's probably more rare to find somebody who does actually change, though," which is also fair. "A lot of the people who cheat tend to do it habitually. Props to Shane and anyone else who has made the decision to get better, because that's exactly what what is a conscious decision." So yeah. Parents who act like their kids could never do anything wrong always blame their kids' friends or are setting their kids up for failure. Facts. Kids need to know there's a consequence for their choices, good or bad. I have a cousin whose dad is the head of the U.S. Marshals in Utah, and he'd get him out of any trespassing or speeding charges he'd get because he didn't want him to get in trouble. Made him one of the most insufferable people to be around. I haven't talked to that cousin in a decade because of it. Damn. Yeah, I never once had any run-ins with people who were like, the sheriff's son or like people like that. But I can't imagine it. I bet it's terrible. Pantera Girl breaking breaking the chain of T-Ford comments. Says, this is going to make me feel old, but my friends and I found my mom's VHS porn stash. Oh, shit.
Nice.
Mom's got a porn stash. We got all stoned and watched it together one day while she was at work. It was really terrible and hilarious. Yeah, that sounds like a good bonding moment, I guess. I don't know.
You know, I have never watched porn with a dude. You know what I
Really?
mean? Like, I've never sat with a buddy and been like, yo, check this porn out. It's wild.
Dude, let's watch a movie. Debbie Does Dallas. Throw it on.
Oh my god.
I'll make popcorn. Real quick story. When I was in high school, one of my friends, like, we would go over to his house, and he graduated, and him and a different buddy from high school were all living together.
Yeah.
And we went over there, and we would like party and shit. And they had the only thing they had for like any internet content on the TV was a PS3, and you could go to like websites on the PS3. You could type it in, and this one of the guys who lived there was on the phone with his mom one time, and we went to RedTube and just started playing random porn like full volume. It was great.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All right. Back to the comments. Pantera Girl says, having to go through dealing with a teenage boy with a cell phone. And then she puts in parentheses, parental controls could make me want to rip my hair out with how stupid easy they are to get around. Fair. I'm going to just say that I'm not mad about the Pornhub thing. I'm not personally a tech whiz, so I don't know what the exact answer is, but I'm sure that there are smart tech-savvy people out there who should be able to figure out how to keep at least the majority of kids off of these sites. I mean, I think it's pretty common knowledge that it's been proven how early exposure can have negative impacts on people's sex lives in adulthood. So honestly, it's really about time that it was taking a little bit more seriously than click here if you're over 18.
Yeah.
I agree. And at the same time, I'm surprised it's taken this long for them to get that. You know, like nobody's figured out anything until now.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then she says, yep, Pantera Girl says, yep, Time Suck was my introduction to soaking and all of that. Although I had already heard of the poop hole loophole, which another fun little Mormon shenanigans. And then she says about the am I the asshole. I mean, I personally don't think it seems like OP would be the a-hole. It seems she is aware, at least, of how it could affect her friend. I agree that I think a lot of it would come down to how she approaches the subject. I would think she would need to have it come from a place of concern and caring, not from an angle of actually trying to change her friend's mind. I think it's fine for her to have an opinion as long as she's clear that it's just her opinion at the end of the day, because she's going to be respectful of her friend's wishes regardless, because bottom line, it's her friend's choice. Also fair. And one comment we've all been waiting for. Okay, I know something was said about it, and I think I missed something, but what is up with Levi's red dildo in the background? Seriously, is that what it actually is? If not, then what is it? So if you are just listening, you should probably just go to the YouTube and watch this. So above my shoulder there is what can be best described as a wicker basket with a red dildo in it, but if you look, it's actually a sculpture. The red part is blown glass, and then the wood part is bent wood that my brother and his good friend Kenny collaborated to make while they were in college. And you know, it's like one of those things where it's like, I like it because A, it's fun to look at, and B, you know, it's a couple very influential people in my life that, you know, made this thing. And how often do you get to like have stuff like that where you're like, oh shit, that's, you know, so yeah, I mean, I get it. It does. It's eerily phallic if your fucking mind's in the gutter, Pantera Girl. You sick bastard. And she says, yeah, I got all of my comments early this week. At least now I know they won't be too late to be read like last week. Yeah, she put in some comments way too late. And a quick 3 from Kylie. Levi, your hair is looking extra stylish this episode. You should see it now. Fucking cut it. What's up? She says, what the hell about this soaking? That makes no sense. What's the purpose? That's not cheating the system. That's sex. If it's in, that's sex. Yeah. Dude, you're preaching to the choir here. But am I going to say no if a nice Mormon girl asks me to soak? No, I'm not, but whatever.
Oh, man. Everyone knows
Yeah.
that sex is entering and coming back out again. Like, it's not just going in. You got to come back out and go back in again.
Yeah, you have
Everyone
to
knows.
envelope something and exvelope it.
Exvelope
Is
I
a
don't think
technical
that's-
term. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah?
it's science
exvelope?
anyway.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
well, because
Alright.
oral sex, you know,
Okay.
hanginal sex.
Hand. Okay.
yeah.
All right.
I'm dropping some real technical terms. I wish you would get behind me with my
Foot-
scientific
What about
data
footnote?
a little bit
What
more.
about like the footnote?
There are some footnote shenanigans going on the internet. I don't prescribe to that, but I get it. All right.
I really love Brazilian cakes too. You know.
Brazil. I also. It's something about Brazil. They just got it all figured out.
Have
Got
you
nice-
ever saw? I know we've talked about it before, but I'll ask again because it's fun. Have you ever seen Brazilian soap soccer?
No.
It is glorious.
Is it what I'm thinking it is?
It's a bunch of Brazilian girls in bikinis playing soccer on this like inflatable field that is covered in soapy water.
Dude, Brazil's got it figured the fuck out. Like, how can you be mad at a country like Brazil? They just got nice thick ladies all over the place. They know how to do a good waxing job. You know, they what else they got?
They got their own style of jujitsu.
Yeah, real
Yeah.
deadly top too. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got it fucking made. And not that too far from Colombia, if you like skiing. So, you know, anyway, South America's cool. All right. So, update story. Are you ready for this?
Ready?
Remember when we talked about that teacher in St. Louis who had to resign because her OnlyFans page was reported?
Yeah.
So she got put on leave, and then you know, whatever. She got a new job, and she got fired from that job after a few days because of her. She violated the company's social media policy, essentially. So
That's insane, dude.
yeah, this lady just can't catch a break.
Like-
Although it does appear that she's making pretty good money on OnlyFans, but still, like, that's not sustainable forever. You gotta get a job with some benefits and shit, like, at
Yeah.
least, you know. So
I-
it's wild.
It doesn't seem like it should be legal that you can get fired for having a sex work job, you know, or however.
Yeah.
I don't know how you describe OnlyFans. I'm guessing it's considered sex work, right?
Yeah. And I don't really know that it is, I guess, specifically because that, but they say that she violated one of their policies. So, like, I don't know if it's because of, you know, they probably had some language in, you know, the employee handbook that said, you know, whatever, like, you represent, because it's a health company, Compass Health.
Everyone knows that having sex is healthy.
Yeah,
Next.
and she was a community support specialist, which
Okay.
I don't know what that means exactly, but
So she's supporting the community, all right.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I do think, and I feel like I've talked about this with some of my, you know, career type friends that work in, like, not this specific thing, but like how things are handled if, you know, if your boss finds something on Facebook or Instagram or whatever about you, and like, I don't think they're allowed to go, hey, you said that, like, you could get punished for, like, that's illegal for sure. But if they put some verbiage in their fucking handbook where they're like, actually, you gotta maintain this and this and this, and they're like, well, it just doesn't hold up to our standards,
Right.
in just like a very vague sense, then I think maybe they're okay, but it still seems super icky to me. I don't know. Yeah. So, best of luck to her. I believe in her. She's got a lot of talent. You know, she'll land on her feet. I think probably. Okay, so that's the update. Biggest piece of news probably in this last. Well, I was gonna talk about this last week, and then I got to just jabber John. Freaking Catherine, Princess of Wales.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Kate.
She's like
Kate
disappeared
Middleton,
or whatever?
right? Yeah, she's gone. And people are like, "What the hell's going on here? Why are then like you had internet sleuths that are like, this is the picture, specifically this picture. People were like, "Hey, oh shit, oops, okay." Like there's if you see right here where it's like clipped, like it looks kind of funky. There's like a fake edge there. Like they're like, this photo's been touched up and doctored, and they circled all over all over the thing, and they're like, this lady's gone. Like they killed her probably for sure.
Yeah.
Just jumping to a lot of conclusions. Oh, here's another bit where it's like, that sleeve ends right here, but the hand's right here, and it's just kind of fucked up looking. Anyway, people are convinced she's disappearing, or they're
has disappeared or is murdered.
Yeah, like they're Princess Diana-ing her. She came out and announced that she has cancer, and this is like, the other thing is the king's got cancer now too. So this is like the whole royal family's got cancer, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, she had an abdomen surgery, and they thought it wasn't cancerous. They were trying to remove a growth or something, and then now it is cancerous, and so she's going to treatment. But
yeah,
we're gonna keep an eye on it because there's people concerned that somehow the royal family is like trying to take this lady out, and I'm like, I don't really even understand why they would want to do that. She's like the only one that's actually actively in the royal family, like, because what's her name, the former actor, she like dipped out, like her and was it Harry?
Yeah.
Just were like, we don't want to be a part of it, and they just aren't. So
yeah.
Why would you go after this one that's like actively in? I don't know.
Yeah.
So pretty confusing, but the internet sleuthing that got me. Also, have you seen this documentary, Quiet on Set? Have you heard anything about it?
I'm almost finished with the first episode of the season.
Holy shit, dude! It is interesting. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it is a documentary on Max, on HBO Max. It's a docu-series. There's a few episodes, and it talks about the treatment of child actors on Nickelodeon sets, particularly in relation to one of the producers, Dan Snyder, and also like the amount of creepy individuals that were just around, and like a lot of weird stuff going on. And I finished it yesterday, and it is pretty interesting. There's a lot of things that, like, you watch these TV shows and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. Like, they're just doing silly stuff, and then as an adult you come back and look at it and you're like, oh, yeah, that is a tad suspicious. And then, of course, I listened to the audiobook of Jeanette McCurdy's memoir, and she talks about, she doesn't name anybody, but she talks about a producer who fits a certain description that did do some Harvey Weinstein-y kind of things, and is all very interesting, very also depressing, because like you think about these shows and how like the laughs and like all the fond nostalgic memories I have like related to like all that and the Amanda Show,
Dude, yeah.
Drake and Joss, like all of this, and I'm like, man, like these kids were not having fun. Like it looks like they were, but like what the fuck? So kind of ruins the mirage a little bit, but
it really does. Especially even in the first episode where they start to pick apart some of the skits, and it's like, oh man.
yeah.
Now that it's like well, before you said that I didn't think of it, but now that you're saying it, I'm like, fuck, I see it.
Yeah.
And now I'm upset.
I was talking to my brother about it, and he was like, yeah, I mean, there's some of those, like, because he's got kids, and they watch some of these shows, and, like, something will happen, and he'll be like, oh. But then he's like, I just thought I was just being dumb, you know, like, just being dumb and immature. But then they paint it like that, and you're like, oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, they did it on purpose.
Yeah. I also watched a different docuseries called American Nightmare. Have you watched that one?
No.
Holy shit. I kind of wish I could rewatch it for the first time and also be just blitzed out of my mind, because there were so many like turns and twists that I was like, man, it was already like, whoa, shit. But then if I would have been super stony baloney, I think it would have been really fun.
Really?
Like, I mean, the story itself is just because it's like this guy reports his girlfriend got kidnapped, and the cops are like, all right, well, fuck. So they bring him in, they're questioning him, like, what's happening, you know? And at first they're like, yeah, obviously, tell us what happened. But then it switches, and then the cops are like, we know you fucking killed her, you piece of shit, you know? And he's like, no, I didn't. And then she fucking like shows back up, like she comes home, and they're like, oh shit, he didn't kill her, what the fuck? And so then it's like, what happened? Did she try to like what was it called, like frame him for something, or did he pay somebody and they just let her go because he didn't have enough money, or like did somebody actually kidnap? Like, what the fuck is? There's a lot of different angles, and it's very intriguing.
It's funny that you bring that up, because there's a show that just came out on Apple called Apples Never Fall. Oh. And it's about this prominent family in the tennis community, and the mom just
in the tennis community.
Yeah, and the mom of the family, the mom of the family just up and leaves, like leaves her cell phone. Doesn't take anything. So the cops think that the husband murdered him, and the kids slowly but surely think the same thing. And then like these weird, this video surfaces that like he's dumping this huge bag. He's like super late at night getting on a boat, and he dumps this massive bag, heavy bag, off the boat into the water. And they're like, oh, that's her body. You fucking murdered her.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
Wild. And then
I've seen Dexter.
Then she just shows up.
What the fuck?
She just comes back. She was just like, "Oh yeah, I just left. I went and stayed in the mountains for fucking 15 days."
What? Bro, you can't be doing that to people. That's fucked up. She like goes and visits the husband in jail because they arrested him because they're like,
he was
piece of shit.
He was in jail.
Like,
yeah.
Hey. Like, what? Wait. Why am I still here? She's right there. What the fuck, man?
That's insane.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah. I was gonna say another one, but I can't remember.
Okay. Well, then I'll bring the mood down for us.
All right, let's go.
So, the Department of Defense announced yesterday that a sailor was lost overboard from the USS Mason and has died.
Ah, shit.
Yeah. He was a mech, second class.
What's the Mason? Is that like a...
The US, it's a DDG.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Like a destroyer. Yeah, it's a DDG.
Does it say like
DDG
what happened
87.
or?
So it's still under investigation, but he fell overboard and died. But they haven't put out exactly what happened. They said it was the result of a non-combat related incident. So they were probably just doing night flights and he fell off or some shit.
Yeah. Weird. And just couldn't swim or something.
I guess. I don't
Didn't
know.
have his float coat or something. I don't know.
Aviation machinist mate, second class. Michael. I don't want to butcher his name. Reg Bisola. He was 34.
Oh. Damn.
Yeah, man.
That's awful. Like, was it? Did it say they were doing like night operations or like at night is when they lost him or what?
That's
No?
like I literally don't. They didn't give any more information. Like they talked. They just say he fell, and it's under investigation.
Yeah.
And then there's like a statement about how he was a great sailor.
Yeah. Dude, I am still to this day baffled that I didn't fall off that aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
And to take it a step further, I have recurring dreams that I'm back in the Navy for some reason. Like I'm just like back and they're like, why do you have a beard? And I'm like, fuck. So like the biggest part of the dream is usually me having to go shave my beard. Like I'm like, damn
Yeah.
it. Like I'm not like concerned that I'm just in the Navy again. I'm like, fuck. They're going to be mad if I have this beard. And a lot of them end with me falling off the ship. And I'm like, bro, you are on land now. It is okay. We are not at risk to fall off of fucking anything. Like
You don't think about it when you're on the boat how fucking just far up you are.
Yeah.
But then anytime you get off that. Oh, what?
What I was gonna say I can't remember how fucking high up to the flight deck that is, but it's
far.
It's a substantial amount. Yeah. Too far, I would say.
I want to say like it's got to be like from the water to it's got to be like what 70, 80 feet at least.
That's what I was thinking, probably 80 around that, but fuck.
But you never think about it when you're on it. Like there was some dumb things I did like that I remember doing like during deployments, like being like on top of a jet when they're fucking POW or tail over
That's
water.
what happened to me. Yeah. They were like my first grease job. And they're like, hey, go do this fucking 14-day. It's up on the flight deck. I said, okay. So I go up there, and I'm, like, greasing all the things, and I look at the the rudders, and I'm like... And I look over, and it's hanging off the edge, and I'm like, they really fucking... Like, I have to go fucking grease this son of a bitch while I'm... After they've washed it, so it's wet, you know? And I'm like, yeah, I guess. I mean, fuck. It's already... Like, I'm already doing dangerous stuff all the time. Why add it to the list? So I climb up there and I'm fucking going back and I'm standing on the the horizontal stabs and I'm like pushing the rudder because you have to push the rudder to get to those points, and I'm on like I have to like creep around the one, so I'm like literally like inches from just yeeting off of this goddamn ship. I never told you this story.
Dude, there is no way in hell that I would stand on a horizontal stab.
Dude, and I get back down there and I'm like shaking. I'm like, why the fuck are you guys making me do this? Like, that is crazy. And they're like, what? It's just a 14-day. Like, you've done that before, right? Like, you did it in Fallon. I was like, yeah, I wasn't hanging off a goddamn aircraft carrier. And they're like, you fucking greased the rudders, dude? Like, they were like, why would you do that? It's hanging out, it's tail over water. Yeah, don't do that. I was like, all right, well,
it's too late.
It's
I already
done.
fucking did it.
Shit, sign it off, dude.
Bro.
I can't believe you've never heard that story.
Like, the sketchiest I've ever done is like been working underneath panel 300, like with the tail over water.
Right.
Like, which is sketchy enough, but like you're flirting with death.
And the best part is, like, I still have my boots from Fallon, so they're, like, still worn down. And you know how Supply was real stingy about ordering us boots?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, can I get some fucking new boots with some tread now? Like, I literally almost just slip and slided down into the goddamn water, but it's fine. Yeah. That's that story, and then the time the fucking AEs put the ladder up while I was on top of the plane. They're like my two least favorite stories from deployment. I'm like, you fucking pieces of shit. I'm like having to like flash a light at the tower so they'll fucking send a chief over to fucking talk to me because I didn't have a radio or anything. I'm like, somebody help.
I'm stuck.
I was like, I could just slide off of this bitch, but then I'm gonna get in trouble, and I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking wait here for somebody. No. So, anyway, that's all I got.
Yeah, now it's time for... Oh, wait. If you made it this far, we appreciate you. Take a second, pause the video, hit subscribe, leave a comment. Check out the store and our Linktree Sockpod. The link is in the description, wherever you're listening.
You.
Hell yeah. Alright. Am I the asshole for ruining my friend's wedding pictures? I love it already.
Wait, what was it?
Am I the asshole for ruining my friend's wedding pictures?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I, 27 male, am not a professional photographer by any means. Actually, I'm a dental nurse. I was very photography from the age of 13 to 20. I did a GCSE and an A-level photography, and then after I finished school at 18, I did a two-year graduation diploma with a photography specialism. Due to this, I have a knowledge of Photoshop, and I used to be able to do my own film, though I am not sure if I still have the skill set, as it's been a while since I last did it. I haven't done much photography since then, because I realized I preferred it as a hobby rather than quite brutal and competitive world of professional photography. My friend Ruby, 27 female, who I went to school with, got married 2 weeks ago, and about 3 weeks before the wedding, she called crying, saying she didn't have a photographer because she couldn't find anyone who would shoot the wedding and film, her preference. For less than a couple grand. Oh, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Very long wedding and reception with lots of people, and she wanted several hundred photos from the day. If you know anything about film, you know you can only shoot 24 to 36 pictures, and the speed of the film needed to take pictures inside is relatively expensive. Also, she wanted them in color. God damn. I tried to give her solutions, but she was dead set on this, and said it was her wedding and she would be able to get what she wanted. Alright, bitch. Eventually, she asked me if I would take the photos. I was initially hesitant, as I said I am not a professional photographer, but she really pressured me into it, basically implying that her wedding would be ruined if I didn't, so I agreed. The pay she was offering me was not good, about £250. Wow.
Yeah, that's not near a couple thousand that he was talking about earlier.
God. But she's one of my best friends and framed the request like it was a favor rather than a service, so I accepted the loss. I knew that doing it all in film would not work, as in I did not have the skills to do it, and be incredibly expensive. So on the day, I took hundreds of photos digitally and then edited them in Photoshop to look like film. Honestly, she was thrilled with them and didn't even realize they weren't real film. I didn't even know how she. I don't even know how she found out, because she believed my editing job at first. But she called me today to tell me that I have ruined her wedding and her pictures, and that I betrayed her trust. Her and her husband are both furious at me and telling me I'm selfish. She said she asked for one thing from me, and I couldn't even do that. Other friends are weighing in, saying it was a shady thing to do, and one even said that I could forget about any future work because no one would hire me after this. I am not a photographer. And I just don't know if I am the asshole, because I did lie, but it was a difficult situation, and the pictures are nice, so am I the asshole?
Well,
I don't think you're an asshole. I think you're a fucking pushover, though.
yeah. Also, I mean, I feel like a lot of this lady's anger is projection, because she fucked up. She waited till the last minute. She couldn't get people to take the job because of her demands and lack of wanting to pay people proper amount of money. She paid you less than what she should have, or what you should have taken, which is kind of both of your faults. And like, what she wanted, like, shooting film is more expensive. Like, it's so much more expensive. And one guy, and she wanted 300 some pictures taken of the fucking event. Like, it is not, getting film photos done is not the same as your run-of-the-mill wedding photographer, where they snap literally thousands of pictures and then give you, 40 at the end of everything. Like, they find the good ones and they touch them up, and they're like, all right, here you go. Here's all the, the key ones.
Yeah.
I do think it's hilarious that all he did was do some fucking around on Photoshop and make it look like it. My question is, why the fuck was she wanting film if she wasn't gonna get like legitimate film prints made? Like, he sent her over what, like proofs or something on like via email, I'm assuming. And she's like, yeah, this is good. Like,
it's probably
why do you need the extra steps of film, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it makes sense that she found out because what probably happened was that she loved him, right? When he emailed them to her, and then her husband was like, how did he email you them if they're all on film?
Yeah, like, he could have, I guess, done a digital scan, but you would still be able to be like, I don't know, it would be something, like, and you do want to have, like, some digitized version, I guess, but, like, I don't know. How did she not tell while you were at the thing taking pictures with a digital camera? You know what I mean? Like, it's... I feel like this lady's kind of dumb, and because of that, you're not the asshole, but it is a really funny situation. Like, she demanded way too much. She gave very little for what she wanted, and, I mean, she did, according to this person, still get pretty decent pictures out of the deal. Like, whatever, I guess. Like, yeah, she didn't get exactly what she wanted, but she was being a bigger a-hole if you are the a-hole, you know?
Yeah.
So,
let's
I don't know.
Let's see what the bot says.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So 48% not the asshole, 14% you are the asshole, and then ESH 36%. Everyone sucks here.
Oh yeah. 8% for ESH.
No, 36% ESH.
Oh,
everyone sucks.
all right.
Yeah, 48% not the asshole.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I don't think that they're an asshole, but I understand why, like, why they did what they did, but also at the same time, he did promise her, like, but you weren't compensated. I could go on and on in this thought process. Like, you did promise, but then she didn't really give you any quality, like 250 pounds, which is $315, to do hundreds of pictures at a last minute wedding.
Yeah.
You know, kind of, but it is your friend, so also, yeah. I don't know. I mean,
all right.
Yeah.
We'd like to thank our friends, the Macabre Emporium, Real Creature Feature, the Society of Cryptid Hunters. Yeah, there we go. Those guys. Those three.
If you, if you for some reason enjoy hearing my voice and you want to hear it more than just once a week, or more often, I guess, you could also check out the Remedial Scholar. We're on a bi-weekly schedule now, so check that out. Latest episode, very proud of. Was very cool. Got to do art stuff, which I didn't really think was going to happen very often in a history-based podcast, but I made it work, I think. So
nice.
Check that out. And then also do all the things. Go to our links. Go to YouTube. Leave comments like you heard earlier. You know, if you like what we do, you can even go to Patreon, which is in the link tree, which is in the description. And you can give us money if you want. You know, you don't have to.
Yes, you don't have to.
But if you liked it, you can. Yeah. That's it, right?
That's it.
All right. I've had enough. Peace out, bitches.
Tip your bartender.